Hey guys, and welcome back to Regrexit, Brexit Britain, a country that is racist, anti-Semitic, misogynistic, bigoted, xenophobic, one of the worst countries in the world, most racist countries in the world. That's not my words. Those words have come from the Israeli ambassador to Britain. That's what she thinks. Do you know, I'm just thinking, well, if it wasn't for the fact yet that we voted for Jeremy Corbyn, right, to be the leader of this country, right, he has taken this country so low, right. We've got Nazis in London, Nazis in Florida. This is all Jeremy Corbyn's fault. I got the name wrong. I was supposed to say Boris Johnson. I've got to do that all again. And also, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages you sent me, and a special thanks here to everybody who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that have signed up, so thank you so much for that. I'll go through all the messages. I'll answer as many as I can, but I will like all the messages for definite. So today, we have had a cyber attack at KP Snacks. Basically, a snack attack. Right. The world has gone nuts. It's like KP security has been cracked, leaving them shell-shocked. Somebody's taken the pistachio. Well, if you've got any better ones, right, then please, in the comments below. If you have any worse than that, comments below. But I'm not sure if you're going to find anything better than that, right? People have been demonstrating outside water companies, right, about the filth that the water companies have been putting into our, and if you like the way I said filth, right, I've said it like that, right, for a reason, because they shouldn't be putting filth into our waters. Right, because I can't really say what it is, because it's piss and shit, but I can't say that, can I really? So, but this is what we're really talking about. Right, so people have been demonstrating outside the water companies, say to them, listen, you need to stop all them thing there. You can't be doing that no more. But obviously they're saying it in like maybe in a northern accent or something like that, right? But this is what's going on. Do you know what I mean? So it's right though that people should be getting upset about these type of things. Do you know what I mean? Because they should not be putting raw sewage into our rivers, and into the sea. They should not be doing that. Do you know what I mean? You realise that they wasn't allowed to do that, right? When we was in the EU, right? They're not allowed to do that. Right, I mean, with the EU, it would have to be under a very extreme circumstances, right? Other than that, the EU would just say, you know what, right? What you need to do, right, is you need to salt your raw sewage out yourself, right? Don't be putting it into our waters, right? And this, but when you're living in a country where they want to deregulate things. Because remember all the time when I was saying to you, oh yeah, Brexit, we can deregulate this and deregulate that, and all of this, all these rules that we're living under, under from this dictatorship of the EU, right? But right, things like not putting raw sewage, right, in your waters, right, to me sounds like a good idea, baby. Because if we can't trust our government to do it, then we've got to have, we must have someone over our government, right, that's going to say to them, no, you can't do that. You can't put raw sewage, right? What happens when it starts floating over to our territories then? Because the thing with water, is it doesn't stand still, moves. It just keeps moving and moving and moving. All right, and somewhere along the line, the waters around the world will literally all be joined up, right? Because water. Because the thing with water, water does not respect borders, like fish, right? They have like fish and birds, right? And I'm sure there's quite a few animals that when they go from one side of one country to another, I'm sure where if they have to cross, if animals have to cross borders, they're like, well, we're just crossing. We're not really feeding the passport thing. We're not really down with that. Do you know what I mean? Right. So so these animals and water, these things, they don't respect borders. Right. So our right filth, because I want to say the other one. Right. Our filth, right, can float over to France, to over to Amsterdam and all this. I don't know, but this is what could happen. Do you know what I mean? When we're putting this type of stuff into the waters, right? So this is why people are outside, demonstrating, right, that these things should not be going on. And I say, you know what, good luck to them, because it shouldn't be going on. I only wish I could be there to demonstrate with them. £10 on your council tax, right, in Kent, from the police. So there's police saying, well, we're doing such a good job down here that we need to increase your council tax by an extra tenner. And I'm sure you will welcome us very much when we tell you, if your bike is stolen, please speak to let's just think, if you could go down to Tesco's or to Halfords and buy yourself another one, that would make it easier for us. So, because all of this, because let's say, well, £10 on your council tax. It doesn't sound like a lot. Maybe what about the £1,200 they promise you on your energy bills? So that's £1,200. That's £1,210. I'm laughing. It's affecting me the same way. But as I always say, I'm enjoying Boris Johnson's premiership. Just because anywho, right? So look, leveling up, because they were speaking about yesterday. Michael Gove is coming over with his new leveling up agenda. Saying, hey, leveling up, we're leveling up. Right, so he's coming over with a new leveling up agenda. Right, it's all about some new education hubs and all these type of things. And so, whoa, well, there's education hubs, and I don't know what else they were speaking about. I think they did say they was going to cut councils somewhere. I think it's probably somewhere up north where they're going to cut. Where they're thinking of cutting a little bit of council tax off of people's off of their council tax, basically. Right. So, but saying okay, that's all sounds very nice, and then you've got, I think they're talking about, I think they're talking about a couple of train lines or something like that in a few places. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, well, okay, all sounds very leveling up, but everything they're talking about, are all services that they've cut the fuck out of. They've cut all these services. They come in and cut all the youth, whatever youth services they could cut, and they come and done all these things. Right? Look. If you really want, right, to level up, right, leveling up, takes putting money into people's pockets, right? Because if you're living in, say you're living in Darlington, and you're, say, 55 years old or 60 years old, right, and your whole life has been in Darlington, right, now what is them, right, putting a local education system centre near you gonna really do for you? See, the thing is, the whole leveling up thing, it's all an illusion. It's a myth, right? It's steamed up, the same as Michael Gove's big ass glasses. He can't see a motherfucking thing, right? Because they're just talking about stuff that should be there anyway, stuff that they've taken away anyway. Do you know what I mean? They're not coming up with any. There was not one idea that was new. Nothing. Do you know what I mean? And you got them in there screaming and shouting and saying, yeah, this is brilliant and this is that. And you think, well, what? What is? You know, I can't even explain to you, right, what they're talking about, because when I was listening to it, I'm just thinking to myself, this is just nonsense. This is rubbish. Right, and you know, I've been saying for some time here that leveling up doesn't mean anything. It's just meaningless. Right, that's what it is. It's meaningless. Right, unless they're going to put actual money in your pocket, right, then it doesn't mean anything. Right, for them to say, oh, you know, we're gonna, you know, the youngsters that are in up north, right, we're gonna make it basically easier for them to go to university and all these type of things. Well, the ones that are going to go to university will go to university. There's no doubt in that, right? You haven't got a load of youngsters in these places, yeah, who find it difficult to go to university. Every child can basically go to university. Do you know what I mean? You know, so I don't know. You know, these people, right? They have, you know, they have not one piece of common sense, right? You know, look, these things, right, are pretty simple. It's pretty simple. It's not difficult. Right, you know, rather than, you know, suspending children out of school, you know, expelling children out of school and all these things, right, you know, it would be easier, right, for them to sit down and speak to these youngsters and say, and, you know, find out, right, because, you know, not all kids are academic. Right, so the ones who are non-academic yet, you can get them out of school. You can get them out of school at 13, 14 years old. Right, get them on a trade. Start them on a trade. Right, you could find out what they're good at, but you have to speak to them to find out what they're good at. Right, and what it is they think they might want to do. Right, they might, they might want to do something. They might want to do like one of your trades. They might want to do building. They might, I mean, you know, they might want to be a chef. Any of these things. Right? But you find out what they want to do. Do you know what I mean? Right? And, you know, and then get them out of school for like 3 or 4 days a week. Right? You know, training, working on site, and have them do a couple of days of education. Right? But you see, these people, they don't think about this type of shit. Do you know what I mean? They're just, all go to university. No, they don't all need to go to university. That's just ridiculous. Right? And this is where these people are constantly making their mistakes. Do you know what I mean? Because they want to throw money. They want to throw money at things, right? But they don't want. They never want to throw money at you or me, us, we, I, right? But they don't want to, right? Throw money at us. No. What they'll do is they'll throw money at companies to, so that companies can say, well, what we'll do is we'll have 20 of those for us, 1 for you. 20 for us, 1 for you. 20 for us, 1 for you. So that's 80 for us so far, right? 80 for, oh no, there's 60 there. Oh, well, so we'll have another 20. We'll have another 20. So it's supposed to be 80. So we'll have another 20. And that was like, should we give them 1? No? Nah, don't give them 1. We'll just carry on from where we are. That's what them companies do. That's what them companies do with the money. What the government is just say, you know what, you take that, right, and you deal with this for us. Right? I keep telling you, the only way, right, that they right now, yeah, that they can level you up, especially up north, right, especially what they're going to do with you, right, in the next few weeks, right, with the new energy costs and all these things, right, is a universal basic income. That's the only thing that can help you now. Right? Because I read a report yesterday, right, that said, that some people, right, a £30 increase, right, is going to do for them. A £30 increase. I suppose I don't know if that's £30 a year or £30 a month. Right, but whatever it is, right, that can do for them a £30 rise. So, I just say, what about the other? What about the other? What £1,200? What's that? 200, an extra £200 a month. So, what about the other 170? What's going to be added to their bills a month? So, but I'm sure, right, that all of you working class Tories, right, and all of you food bank Tories knew exactly what you was voting for, right, when you voted to shoot yourself in the foot and one hand. I'm sure you must have known what you was voting for. But I'm sure your good old working class hero Boris Johnson was on your mind, and you thought to yourself, you know something, yeah, a man who can spend £850 on a roll of wallpaper and let me know that they've done that, right? He is the person for me, because I've got £850 a roll to spend on a roll of wallpaper too, right? Good. So I'm quite sure, yeah, that you're all happy with your choices. This I'm sure of. So Boris Johnson, I think, has got a real problem now, yeah, because it looks like Tobias Elwood, right, is on manoeuvres, right, and you see, because I have this feeling, yeah, that Tobias Elwood, right, could well be the next Prime Minister of this country. Right, because remember, you see, Tobias Elwood, yeah, he's a man, right, who's very, very media savvy, right, and always knows where the camera is, right. All you have to do, yeah, is just go back and look at the day when he was attempting to save the policeman, yeah, because that's why he's really well known now, because he attempted to save the policeman that had just been stabbed up outside the House of Parliament on that day, right, and the picture I can remember, yeah, is him there, right, knowing exactly where the camera was, right, while he's working on the policeman that had been stabbed up. Right. So Tobias Elwood is on real manoeuvres now, right, and I think he's probably, yeah, just waited until he's got enough support, right. I'll just stand that again. He's waiting until he's got enough support to take a shot at Boris Johnson, right? Because he's been on manoeuvres, right, in all the smoky back rooms and all that. Tobias Elwood has been on manoeuvres, right, and trust me, now is his time, right, to try and strike at Boris Johnson, right, and more letters are going to go in today. So I don't know how much letters they've got. I'm quite sure they must be pretty close. I would have thought all the letters would have been in by now. But Tobias Elwood is on serious moves. I want to get moving, because I want to get through this before 30 goddamn 2 minutes, right? I don't know if you see Boris Johnson yet accuse Keir Starmer of failing to prosecute Jimmy Savile. You know, you just think to yourself, I can't believe, yeah, that this is the Prime Minister that we have that could actually stoop so low, right? Because, you know, it's a blatant lie. I mean, because Keir Starmer wasn't even, you know, at the time, Keir Starmer wasn't even the Director of Public Prosecutions at the time, right? So, and Boris Johnson, right, to repeat it. But you see, it's a thing like, you know, like Hillary's emails. It's that type. It's the same as that. Do you know what I mean? You know, the right, the far right. They just put stuff out, and that's who this is. It's the far right, and they're basically using the far right element, right? You know, they're right wing, but they're using the far right element of that right wing, and by just saying these things, knowing it's not true, right? But just saying, you know, like Donald Trump used to just say, well, Hillary's emails, and then used to hear his supporters like, you know, saying it, right? While all Donald Trump's, you know, people are being sent to prison, right? But these people are, oh, well, you're about Hillary's emails, and think, well, what about Hillary's emails? Do you know what I mean? And I just done it again, right? So it shouldn't be a thing what our Prime Minister is doing, especially in the House of Parliament, saying stuff, you know, that he just blatantly knows is a lie, but he will just do it, and he will just continue to. And for me, it was just like, it just shows how low Boris Johnson can really get, right? But Boris Johnson has been described as a pound shop Donald Trump by some of his backbenchers. A pound shop Donald Trump. That must be like, that's got to be like the 50p shop. They have the 49p shop. That's what it's got to be. The 49 pound shop Donald Trump. Right? £9 billion worth of PPE. Right? That's basically worthless. £9 billion worth. Right. And they always tell you how the Conservatives are good with your money. With your money, they're the best. With your money, they've got nine billion pounds, 9 billion. Right. And today, what are they going to announce today? Oh, we're going to be giving the energy companies £6 billion so that they can give you a reduction of £200 on your energy bills. Now I'm quite sure, yeah, that when you're happy to have sold off all the goods in the country, like a crackhead selling off, their TV, right, their lampshades, right, the settee, right, the table and the chairs, the pots and the pans. That's what crackheads do. Right? And that's what this country is. A bunch of motherfucking crackheads sold off all the motherfucking goods in the country and now propping up, right, the energy companies, giving them £6 billion, right, so that they can give us a £200 discount. Seriously, right? What kind of fucking foolishness is this absolute bull motherfucking shit? Right? Seriously, what the fuck is this? Right? Who the fuck does that? Right? You sell off your gas, your electric, your water, and then you end up having to prop them up with taxpayers' money. I understand why these politicians, have had to sell all these things off, because none of them could run a fucking corner shop, right? And that's the reason why they're all politicians, because you know what? They would be shit doing anything else. All of them, they'd be complete crap doing anything else, right? You think that oh yeah, we've got look, they went to Eton, they went to Oxford, they went to Cambridge. Fuck off. Right, you know what? All of those deans from all of those education centres, right, are pricks. You're all big-headed assholes, right? £6 billion you've got to prop up the energy companies with. This is just bullshit. That's what this is, right? Do you know something? Yeah, I've had to put in so many swear words in there because this is just fucking shit. Right, to think that we're going to get the energy cost that we're going to get, right? And they say, oh, we'll just give them some money so that they can give you some money off. What the fuck is £200 going to do anyway? What do you think £200 going to do against a bill of that's going to be over 1,200? What do you think people can't afford the 12. People can't afford the 1,200, let alone giving us 200 off it. Why don't you just say, you know what we're going to do? If we can give you all £100 off it, right? Come round, right, and twist your nipples, right, until they fucking fall off, and then while you're on the floor, right, we can stamp on your fucking neck. Why don't they just do that? That's what they should do. They'd be better off doing that than saying, you know what, right, we're watching this, right, we're watching this in real time. This is not slow motion. This is in real time. They're doing this to us. They're doing this to us in our face. The Tories come in and told you, we will not increase no bills. Your bills will not be increased, right? We will not increase national insurance or any taxes. No, don't increase. Jeremy Corbyn would do that. And look where we are now. We're in a stage, yeah, where we're just about to get whacked up with probably around an extra £2,000 a year for energy costs, right? And they're talking about giving the energy companies £6 billion so that they can give us £200 off. So thank you very much. Would you like to kick me up the backside as well after you just kicked me into the bollocks with stilettos on or winkle pickers? Seriously, right? These people, right? These, you know, the people of this country, right, are fucking idiots, right? You're voting, right, for people, right, who terrorise you, because that's what this is. Right? You know, we're a terrorised nation, slapped about by the government, right? Treated like they're bitch. Just seriously, I need to move off that subject because this is that. Because let's move on to something more simple. Russia have been sending war vessels, right? You know, because Russia sent some submarines off the coast of Ireland a few days ago. They was propped up at the coast of Ireland, right? A couple of Russian subs, right? And last night off the coast of Scotland, they had to, you know, the RAF had to be scrambled to escort some Russian fighters, right, you know, away from our borders, because that's what Putin does. Putin's just like, you know, I go and I send war vessels to your place, even though I'm in China, because Putin's in China at the moment. Putin's just getting ready. Yeah, he's getting his backside nice and warm to watch the Winter Olympics, right? But he can still just say, you know what, right? And Boris Johnson, because you know Boris Johnson, when he's running off his mouth talking, everybody else is holding their horses, yeah, about Ukraine and NATO. Well, Boris Johnson said, oh well, Ukraine can still join NATO. You know that's what the argument's about, right? A lot of the arguments about that, because Putin doesn't want people putting their big guns, right, all around him, and I don't blame him, right, because the West can't be trusted. Right? Just ask the Native Americans, right? Well, the ones that are left, or the Aborigines, the ones that are left. Just ask them how much the West can be trusted, right? And then you'll understand why Putin said, you know what, I don't want you round here. I don't want you round here, and that's what this is about. So, you know, a lot of people have got different opinions on what it's about, and you know, and where the line should be drawn. Do you know what I mean? But I've done it again. Don't want to do that. But right, Putin has the right to say, well, I don't want you around here because I don't trust you. And he's damn right. Because I live in the West and I don't trust the damn West. I don't trust Putin either. All right, and I would never accept a cup of tea or coffee, right, or any type of beverage, right, from President Putin. I wouldn't accept one from Boris Johnson either, unless he I was surprised with a cake. Probably like a custard pie, right? And then, right, the Klitschko upset the Klitschko brothers. The Klitschko brothers are saying, you know what, yeah, we're ready to fight, right? Ready and waiting to fight. What was his name? Oh, I can't remember what his Iron. I think his name was Iron Fist, isn't it? Vitali. I think his name was Iron Fist. I think Vitali's the which one's the mayor? Vladimir or Vitali? I can't remember. I know I saw both of them. One of them is joining basically the TA. So he's ready with guns and not fists. Because he's saying the Ukraine people, they're ready for the Russians to, you know, for as soon as the first toll comes over the border, right? And let's finish with a bit of Brexit, right? Because that damn fool Edwin motherfucking Poots, right, the agricultural minister from the DUP, right, the people who do not understand politics. So it's the DUPP. Right. Edwin Poots, yeah, he's just walked up to like pencil neck Tin Lizzie, right, and just stabbed her in the side. That's what he's done, right? Because he's put a halt, right, to the sea border checks, right, and this, right, this is going to cause an international incident, right, and from Westminster, they're saying, well, the English are saying, well, this is not nothing to do with us. the Irish, Ireland, Sorry, it's well. Obviously, this is. I've been pulled up about this so many times, but by just saying Ireland, we're talking. Obviously, we're talking about Northern Ireland. Can I say Ireland when we're talking about Northern Ireland? Okay, I'll say Northern Ireland. We're talking about Northern Ireland, right? Because Northern Ireland, they're the ones, right, who are making all these problems because Northern Ireland feel that they need, right, to be exactly how England is. A bunch of racist motherfuckers. Oh, okay. Right. They feel they need to be exactly how England is, right? With no food on the shelves and a lack of staff, right? So, they're kicking up a real fuss now, right? And I I don't know if he's actually got the power to do what he's actually done. But obviously, I mean, he must have consulted some of the best solicitors and lawyers within Northern Ireland to, for him to actually be able to do what he's actually done, because he stopped the checks, right? And this is a deal that was signed by Boris Johnson. Right, this is the DUP. Obviously, the DUP they had their feelings out of it, but by the time this deal was ready to be signed, the Tories no longer needed the DUP. So the DUP was thrown under the what word am I looking for? The bus, right, and a train, and they dropped a skip on them from a great height. Right, so look at me, I'm 31 minutes in already. Right, so the DUP, right, they've been trashed anyway. So they probably didn't want this in the first place. But by the time Boris Johnson was ready to sign, they never had any say. I mean, that was it. It was all over them. They had already been used and abused and left on the streets like fools. Right. So now, I just done it again, didn't I? So now, right, as of 12 o'clock last night, they said that they're going to stop the checks. So now we're going to have to see where we go with this, because obviously Liz Truss is in serious talks with with the EU at the moment. But I think that could well be halted, and the EU could well just say, look, we and just revoke on the actual deal itself. And so then Britain will end up with no deal. And obviously, if you think that the shabby deal that Boris Johnson has put together is bad, just wait until the EU pull us out of completely with no deal at all, and then you're going to see the real catastrophe start. Anyway, guys, once again, I'm 32 minutes in, and I said I wasn't going to do this today, so I'm going to get my ass out of here now. Anyway, guys, this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm the MC John Ribs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.